I began in liberal religious education at the age of 28 in 1983. That was 34 years ago. I started out as a volunteer director of religious education in a congregation with 65 adult members and 11 children, no minister. Our small band of parents, a total of 6 of us, began from scratch, not knowing what we were doing, with no professional guidance. I was the one with the most preparation, one 15-hour training module in Unitarian Universalist curriculum. Many things have changed over those years, and yet a core remains. Parents want so much for their children. We invest heart and soul, time and money. One person said that when you have children, a piece of your heart lives and walks around outside of you in another person's body. That has never changed. Yes, things have changed. The curriculum is different, but the UU themes have remained constant for at least 3/4 of a century. Learning about other cultures and religions, whether it's church across the street or neighboring faiths. Learning about the wonders of life and how babies are made and come into the world, using curricula as diverse as Haunting House, About Your Sexuality, or currently Our Whole Lives. The exploration of our own experience of wonder and awe, how to name that and relate to a power that is greater than ourselves, that most of the people in the world call God. What shall the children study? 5 themes have persisted over the years. Jewish and Christian scriptures, because that is our heritage, because they are full of wisdom, and because studying them keeps us literate. Unitarian Universalist history and theology, because it grounds us in the part that we have played in history and in historical developments, and outlines the evolution of our collective spiritual thought and experience. World religions, which expands our understanding of and compassion for others and connects us to the invisible universal thread that runs through them all. Social justice, because that is where our values become transformative action. Sexuality, where our spirits, bodies, and desires become private action based in the values and flow from love. Since the 1970s, we have been very intentional about sexuality education and honoring the diverse ways we share affections with others. New, but certainly an outgrowth of that expression, is gender identity and fluidity. And undergirding it all is creating a safe community in our spiritual home. For as much as we think that that our congregations have addressed all the issues of race, gender, sexual identity and orientation, physical and mental ability, and class, that we've done all the work that needs to be done, that's just simply not true. There is much more work to be done here, though we are making progress. And yet in the outside world, it too often remains hostile and reactionary. The world needs Unitarian Universalism. Just listen to the quotes from our coming of age youth as they reference coming of age, but I think we can expand this to include the whole RE program. And they said, "It was a learning experience. Community is an amazing thing. It helped me figure out what matters. It shaped my spiritual beliefs. It gave me patience, importance of thought, and insight about myself. It helped me find myself, helped me make friends, has allowed me to see how fortunate I am in this world, how lucky I am to know these kinds of people, and I have figured out what I believe." What do the children need? They need spirituality, a place of quiet reflection in this noisy, busy world. Coming into our sanctuary, we cross an invisible threshold, a place where the outside world can sometimes slip away, a place of peace. Actually, it can be a little disorienting coming into that space. It can take a little time to adjust from the hurriedness of everyday life. Rituals like lighting a chalice, saying familiar words, hearing a story, singing a song, and suddenly we find ourselves feeling better. What parents and children and youth want, we all want, is a feeling of belonging. We all need to be part of a community that loves and accepts us as we are, a community that prays great things for us, a community with high expectations and strong, loving support, one that cares for us when we are hurting and forgives us when we fall short. We want a place to sort things out that will give context to our wonderings, our feelings, our conflicts, internal and relational. We want a place where we can give back, a place to be of service, a place where we can contribute our gifts, a place that gives our lives meaning and helps the world. We want to expand our circle of love and imagination beyond ourselves to include our home, our community, and our world. To expand the circle to include all the world's people and all of its creatures. We want this because expanding our imaginations grows our hearts. We want to use and challenge our minds, even though it is self-evident that we are not entirely rational creatures, nor do we make decisions solely on scientific fact and logical outcomes. We do want to think for ourselves and have agency. We want to contribute to the democratic process, to keep informed so that we can contribute wisely. What other organization or institution in society does that? So these are the things that I have found to be constants over time. How we do them has changed. Where religion and spirituality rank in importance in our culture has radically changed. Technology, methodology, delivery systems have changed. Who teaches and how many volunteers we need to do the same amount of work. The level of willingness, the sense of responsibility, the amount of time we can devote, all of that has changed. Yet as some smart people predicted back in the 1980s, the more we use and depend upon technology, the more important close relationships have become. We see this now. People in our congregations aren't satisfied to just sign up and leave it at that. We don't simply want to be sent a series of generic emails. We want somebody to contact us directly, to know who we are and invite us personally. So I'm going to issue a personal invitation and take a moment of personal privilege. In the 19th century, Unitarian Horace Mann, who was largely responsible for creating public school in our country, said that each of us should be ashamed to die until you have won some victory for humanity. So let your victory be a healthy, whole, spiritually mature, well-loved children and youth. Let this be your gift to me, that you fully support the religious education program. I invite you now to take out your orders of service. You'll see there that there's a teaching request. And if your name is not listed on that sheet, I ask you to choose an age group and to sign up to teach a class. Fill in those blanks. Put religious education back in its foundational place in our congregation, growing souls and healing and transforming the world.